Hey, I'm still working on getting set up. Hi, I'm glad you said something instead of just me trying to get everything on and working here. Hi, how are you guys? Yes, let me know where you're from. You're from Phoenix. Hey, are you ready to sew tonight? So, I've heard from a few of you, and we're still kind of early here, about 10 minutes early or so. So, it was San Jose, California. Y'all in the nice warm zone of the United States with me here. We're still like 10 minutes early or so. I kind of tend to be the person that like panics that something isn't going to go right. And so that's why I was like, I have got to get on here and make sure that everything is running properly. The fact that you found me means yay, it's working good. So, I think everything is set up. Let me know. Can you hear me okay? And I know you can't see what I'm working on right here, okay? We're going to have to kind of back and forth between that, but can you hear me okay right now? From Plano. Hey, girl, you are back. Ready to sew something new? I'm excited. And yes, I guess you can hear me all right? Oh no. Amanda, I'm so sorry that you hurt your back. She said she's watching from Chicagoland, was set to sew, but I hurt my back yesterday, so I'll be following along but not participating. I'm so sorry. I hope that your back gets better. That's rough, especially when it like of course it never comes at a good time. But that's awful. I'm so sorry. You girls are all early. I love it. You're like, we're here, we're ready to sew. This is gonna happen. So, oh, Cherie, your daughter's moving to Houston in July. Well, you can tell her that she already has a friend here. Because for those of you who don't know, I am from Houston, and it's a ginormous city. But if she ever needs anything, as quilting girls have to stick together, and she has somebody in Houston if she ever needs anybody or needs to call on somebody or goes, help, I don't know what to do with a hurricane. So from New Zealand. Oh my goodness, Fiona, what time is it there? Because I was kind of worried about seeing how things time zones and all of that. I don't want to do anything for anybody in the middle of the night, but no matter what time I pick, it's going to be a weird time for somebody. So, Fiona, let me know what time it is there. Oh, Shri, your daughter is going to be at one of the charter schools here. That's exciting. Congratulations to her. That's amazing. So I guess that means that you will be coming down in November because you'll have somebody here and you can come to the quilt show with me. And yeah, if she needs to know anything, I'm happy to help her. So how is everybody's day going? I want to know how your day is going, what you've been doing today, except for poor Amanda who hurt her back. But that should hopefully ease up over time and you'll get better. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's just like 11:20 there, so it's about time for lunch, Fiona. That's good to know because, like I said, I had to pick a time because I didn't know what to do. So, so how many of you are actually sewing with me tonight? Are you all plan on sewing with me tonight, or are you? Well, sorry, Amanda. Please know that you're sewing with us in your heart. I know that. So, I want to know what jelly roll quilts you've got, or what jelly roll fabric that you got, because I can show you what I have here. And what is this? Jeannie says, I took my niece's surprise proposal pictures today. Oh, that's adorable. So this is what I'm sewing with, this big giant mess of fabric. I actually have Tula Pink, and it is her homemade line. So it's got like, um, well, let me show you. I kind of started a little bit early because I knew that I was going to be talking. So we've got some cute scissors here. This one has the measuring tape on it mixed with these lovely little floral designs. Um, this one I think is my favorite. It's this purple one. It's got little buttons and seam rippers and all the tools of our trade. Here's the same one in blue. And let's see, this one has the safety pins, and then it's got some confetti, and this one has like our ruler grid pattern. So that's what I'm sewing with today. And I'm really excited to see this one come together because it's been on my shelf for a while of things I didn't know what I was going to do with. And I knew it needed to be something special. I don't know if you can see this one. Do you see this? It has like our sewing pedal on it right there for the sewing machine. I love that. So Jennifer is from Garland, Texas. Welcome, welcome. Lots of Texas girls. I love that. Let's see if we can see who is, well, I think, how many Texas girls do we have? Several of them. I can't remember. I can't count. But here's the thing. If you have questions for me, I'm going to try and keep up with the chat as much as possible. It's going to be kind of hard for me to sew while I'm talking. It's going to be hard for you to actually, like hear me because the sewing machine gets loud. But if you have questions for me about quilting, I know I said bring it, and I've kind of written down some of the ones that ended up in my inbox, just from the registration for this party and stuff. So if you have those, can you please put them in all caps in the chat over there? That way I can see them, because I really, really want to see your questions and make sure that I answer them today. That's part of the reason of getting together today, was not just so we can all like flounder on our own, but actually like sew and have a really, really good time tonight together, know what we're doing, feel confident in what we're doing, and really, really enjoy this evening. So we have a few more girls. The Batiks Island is what Cherie, please tell me if I'm saying that right. I think it's Cherie, right? She's got the Batiks Island fabric, and we've got a Buffalo, New York, a Florida, Charlotte, North Carolina. Ooh, a Norway. That's exciting. How fun. That's on my bucket list. Someday. I plan to go to Norway. I would love to go to Norway. It's very, very different from here. Let's just put it that way. It's very different from here, but I still am really, really looking forward to some world travel once things get back to normal again. So, oh, good, Cherie, I got your name right. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm bad about that. And you know what's funny is because my name is spelled so weird, you would think that I would understand how that feels all the time and I would get it right all the time. But I think because my name it's spelled very different. The name Kristen can be spelled so many different ways, and I think that my parents, got creative because that's where I get my creativity from, and so therefore, like nobody ever gets my name right. I answer to just about anything, but so I'm sorry. I will try and get the names right here. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, okay. You told me now that I can come to Norway and I can visit you. And I do remember saying that, or seeing your email and saying that we could definitely meet up sometime once I'm over there, It'll happen someday, I promise. We've got a hi from Seattle, Washington. And Fiona says, I'm very excited. I'm giving up nursing and starting working a quilt shop. Oh, you start working at a quilt shop Monday. Oh, I am so happy for you. That is amazing, Fiona. Congratulations on a job that you will really, really enjoy. Happiness and staff discount. You know what? That's amazing. I'm not sure I would come out on the positive side if I actually worked at the quilt shop. I think they would just get me for free and then I would still pay for fabric as well. But let's see, we have somebody in New York. Oh, I missed one. Seattle, Washington. Wendy is from Seattle, Washington. We've got Los Angeles, and I lived in Bremerton, Washington, for a while, kind of in that area, just across the sound from Seattle, Washington. So we spent many weekends down on the pier in Seattle, Washington, at the market, and lovely city to live in. Seattle, Bremerton was a little on the sketchy side, but it was really nice to live there. Let's see, we have somebody from Nancy is from, I have no idea how to say that, Mimoni Falls, Wisconsin. Oh, we got somebody from Pearland, Texas. Hello, Cindy, my little neighbor. You're so close to me. I love that. We got Southern Ontario, Canada, Illinois. Um, Man, everybody, I love this. I love this. Y'all are all here. This is so exciting. And look at that. We're still like 1 minute early. You girls are my people, okay? You're like I'm here, I'm early, I'm ready. I got all my stuff laid out. This is good. We are going to do this, and you are ready for it. And yes, B, you are here. You are here. You're here. You are here from South Carolina. I love it. I'm glad that you're here. And glad that you actually made it like 1 minute early. So that's fantastic. We've got another from Illinois. This is beautiful. We're like from all over. And this is one of my favorite parts about like doing my posts, like one a more live class. We're from all over the world, but when we get together, we all love the same things. And I think that it is beautiful. And Amy says, my 11-year-old daughter and I are ready in Northeast Arkansas. Oh, I have a 12-year-old daughter. She's not into sewing. But Amy, please let your daughter know that I'm very excited that she's into sewing. This is the perfect project for it. I hope she has some super cute fabric ready to go. I showed this a little bit earlier, but some of you were not quite here yet. So what I'm sewing with is fabric line. Now, I did start sewing a little bit early simply because I knew that I was going to talk more than I was going to sew. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't leave y'all, just waiting on me to do this. So, so I have Tula Pink's line of fabric, and this one, if you can see, it just has all of these beautiful designs that are, pieces of our craft, pieces of our trade and what we do. And if you have any questions for me throughout this, make sure you put them in all caps, because I want to try and like keep an eye on the chat there, and I want to make sure that I answer your questions. And if you feel rushed or left behind or something, please let me know, because I know that sewing a quilt can be intimidating, but I think the most important thing is it needs to be fun, right? We're not getting into this because we need something else stressful in our life. We get into this hobby because we really, really need something fun, and we need something to enjoy. So let me see if I can catch up here. We've got Wisconsin, we've got Omaha, Nebraska, another South Carolina. You got dog duty. I don't know. My kids are in the other room, so I just kind of said, I'll come back in a little bit. So let's see, we've got Manitoba, Canada. We've got North Carolina. You love my Tula fabrics. Thank you. I love them too. They've been in my whatever you call that fabric thing for a while, and I am excited to pull them out, because I think when you find the right fabric and you're like, this is it, this is the project for this fabric, it's been waiting in here for a long time, and this is the project it's supposed to be on. That's what this is meant for. So we've got more Texas. Yay, Katy, Texas. We have a Pearland too, and we've got goodness, Cherie, I'm so Plano. I remember. There we go, Plano up north too. So we got North and South Texas. We got Atlanta, Southern California, Canada, Alabama. Man, we are all over the place, and I love it. So it is now just a few minutes after. So as people come in, oh, we have Tomball, Texas too. Yes, all my girls right here. Sorry, everybody else, I love you too. But there's something special about like having people that I never would run into otherwise, because Houston is a very, very big town and all these little bitty towns around it. I would never run into these girls otherwise, but it's really fun that I get to see them in here. Oh, we've got Austin, Colorado, Iowa, Pennsylvania. My goodness, we are all over the place. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. I kind of apologize for the tech issues. I really wanted this evening to be like, I had a nice pink web page for us and it had like the pictures and like the links and stuff that I was going to share and all of that. And tech issues got the better of me and I couldn't make it to where the live video and the chat popped up on the page. So unfortunately, you're in this YouTube view here, and it's not as pretty as I had hoped it would be. But I'm glad that everybody's here. Everybody seems to have found their way in, and this is wonderful. I'm so happy to see you all here. More people are coming in. If you have questions during this chat, if you feel that you're a little bit behind or something isn't working right, or maybe I need to clarify for something for you, please let me know, okay? Because this is a no stress evening, okay? This is fun. This is what we've been looking forward to. I've been looking forward to all week. And we're just going to go through it step by step. If you get a little bit behind, it's okay. Just, keep going, catch up with me. And there's also a link on my YouTube channel that has this full tutorial in it to do this jelly roll quilt. So, as you're sewing with me, that's great, but realize that instruction manuals already on my YouTube channel for you as well. I think I uploaded that not this past week, but the week before that, or maybe it was the week before that. I can't remember. We've done a lot of jelly roll videos lately. So, there is that as well. But if you have questions, please put them in all caps. That way I can see your questions as they go up and make sure that, Wendy, you said you bought the jelly roll from Kabu Fabrics. I love her stuff. I actually order quite a bit from her because she is right around, the same area. She lives, and I guess it's about 30 minutes from me. But anyways, congratulations. I'm glad that you got your fabrics here on time. So what we're going to go over tonight, let me give you a rundown of how this is going to work. My goal is 2 hours. Okay. So hopefully by the end of that, plus my talking, that's going to help me keep in check so I don't like start rambling and start storytelling on you. Hopefully in that time, we will have a completely finished quilt top. We'll have lots of fun and I have some games and stuff to give away, a few prizes and things. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them all in all caps. It helps me see them better as they go up the chat. So if you are not familiar with me or my channel or my website or any of that, my name is Kristen, and I love to share all of my tips and tricks in the quilting industry, things that I mostly just kind of figure out on my own. I'm very much a self-taught quilter. I do go into the interwebs of YouTube and I try things and I learn things and then I find a different way to do it and I find a way to pass that on to you. And that's what I really, really love to do is I love to be creative and I don't think creativity should be stressful. I don't think it should be stressful in any way. I think you should have fun with it. I think that you should have the confidence to create whatever it is that you want to create in this world, whether it's your own quilt patterns or whether you just want to follow exactly what somebody else has laid down in the path before you, but have those skills ahead of time. I'm very happy to be here with you tonight because I have to tell you, about a week ago, my husband got sick with allergies, right? And he was on the couch for, a day or so, and he took the day off work. And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you don't feel good," because we live in Houston and there's just allergies like all the time. It's just a fact of life here. So I didn't think anything of it. We really haven't been out to be exposed to anything else. So he got sick and with, I guess, a virus of some sort. It wasn't COVID, but he got sick, and I took care of him and all that, and I thought it's just allergies. He'll be fine. We'll just give him some medicine. He'll be fine. And then a few days later, I went down. So, and I don't get sick very often, but when I do, it was just kind of like it took me back, okay, a little bit, and I was kind of like freaking out, worried that I might not make it to tonight. So, we've been like switching out all of the products in our home for like natural ones, and I've been trying to stay out of like all of the chemical, cough syrups and all of that other stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buckle down. And I took all my medicines. I brought out all of my essential oils. I actually have, I don't know if you can see right there behind me, I have some essential oils going right now to kind of like give me a sense of purpose and amazing smell in this room right here. So, I put everything to the test, and here I am with you. So I'm really glad that I am here with you tonight. You know, I, I just, I really am glad that I'm here with you tonight. That really sums it up. I still sound a little bit off, so you're gonna have to excuse me if I'm like drinking lemon water constantly during this, because I want to be able to have the voice to talk you through this whole thing. But the door to my office is closed, and I encourage you to do this too. If you have the ability to close the door, close off everything else that is around you, distraction wise, I want you to, I don't know, if you have a quick second, grab some perfume or some room spray or something to kind of set the mood and the tone for tonight, because you've taken off tonight. And I'm really, really amazed that y'all took the opportunity to sign up for this, even though it's like a Thursday night, and I know that you have other things to do. So, you took this time tonight, and you are here to have a good night, to make something beautiful and creative, and um, you know, take a moment, take a deep breath, and just enjoy this time. Okay, we're gonna have a really fun night. I'm so glad that you came to join me tonight, and I cannot wait to see what you are going to create tonight. I wish I could have done this on Zoom to where I could see all of your quilts as you were creating, but I couldn't figure out a way to make it work to where you could definitely see me and what I'm working on, and not just have this whole screen full of other things. So if at the end of this you want to tag me, it's at Icy Stars Quilting, or post your pictures on Facebook. I would love to see, or you can just email me them if that works better. I'd love to see them emailed as well. So, thank you guys for the well wishes and getting better. I appreciate that so much. I tell you, I'm so excited because yesterday I sounded like a frog, and I was just like, I was kind of like, how am I gonna talk to these girls when I sound like a frog? I could sing really, really, really good as far as like the low voices. I could sing that really good, but it wasn't my typical voice. So um let's see. I want to know who here, I have like one more thing and then we're gonna get started sewing. I want to know who here brought a friend with them. Who invited somebody and your friend is here. I want you to speak up in the chat and call out your friend. So I want to know who brought a friend, and let's see. I know one of you brought your daughter. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name up there, but Kira did. Who's your friend, Kira? Tell me who your friend is. You can call them out. Got Mary is here with you, and Mary brought somebody else. Awesome. Thank you, girls. Thank you so much. So the very first person who spoke up is Kira. And while I still don't know who your friend is, oh, Amanda brought a baby. That's a good thing that you're not sewing tonight, because that doesn't work very well. But Kira is the first person who spoke up. So oh, you did. You brought Sandy. Sorry, I missed that text right there. But if you would email me your email address, go ahead and send me. It's Kristen at icystarsquilting.com. Go ahead and send me an email. I'm going to make sure that you get one of the prizes and get in contact with me, Kira. So, oh, Kira, it's Tanis. Hey, I'm sorry. I've done that before too with like my account being under my husband, and people on Zoom started calling me Brandon, and that is a little unsettling. So, hey, Tanis. So, okay. So thank you for bringing your buddies tonight. Let's go ahead and let's get started here. Real quick, who actually watched the video that I did with the tutorial on how to sew a jelly roll quilt together? So, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Go ahead and tell me who actually watched that video, who followed it, or maybe you already know how to do the jelly roll quilt and you're just here because you want to have some fun. But good. I'm seeing a lot of you watched it. So you kind of have an idea of where we're going with this. And I got several questions in my inbox about it's a race. And oh good, lots of you have watched it. Yay. Okay. The reason why it's called a race, and this is the best answer that I can come up with on that. And so again, quilters tell lots of tall tales. So I'm not really sure. Oh, nice. Lots of you have done. I'm not really sure if this is like the final true like version of this or not, but I know that often when you go to like a retreat setting, oh, thank you, Diane. Thank you for showing your class. Yes, please pass it on because I try really hard to make it nice and simple for everybody to understand and everybody to follow. But so if you were to go to a retreat setting and the organizer of the retreat says, everybody bring a jelly roll. And so you bring a jelly roll, everybody sits down at their sewing machine at the same time. Somebody is already ready to go. You're already ready to like sew and win here. Technically tonight, we're not racing each other because I have no way to actually like prove, but like that you won. But yeah, everybody would sit down together. They would all start sewing at the same time. And there's no talking. There's no, I mean, it's business, y'all. It's just business. So you're sewing the quilt together. And then like the first person who finishes it holds it up and is like, yes, done. And then they get a prize. And so, yeah, it actually is like a race, but it's more of like a quilt retreat setting, kind of like a icebreaker thing. And then everybody goes back to sewing and they work. So the fastest that I have ever done a jelly roll race quilt top angel has to be, I think it's about an hour because I tried to time it on the very last one that I did, but like I was filming at the same time. And I think I've done one in about an hour before and just like making sure that I got everything, trying to do it like really, really good, make sure that I was using my skills correctly and use it as like a teaching tool to make sure that I have my skills the way that I need them. Cause like a 1/4 inch seam is very important. We'll go over that stuff in a minute, but it's more or less just a no stress project. So in the video, I did call it like a palette cleanser, right? I call it a palette cleanser because there's not a whole lot of thinking. It's just straight seams. It's just straight lines. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, in the one that I did for the video, if you saw it, and if you didn't watch it, I highly recommend you go back and watch it. But the one that I did in the video, I used the full 40-inch strips, right? The one that I'm doing today, I actually cut those strips in half. So you'll be able to kind of like compare the two and see what I did, the difference that it looks, okay? And I have a couple other that I can, I have one that I want to show and tell in a minute, but we'll get to that in a little bit because I don't want to like spend this whole time talking. So one more question is, can I do a jelly roll quilt for both the front and the back of the quilt? It's for a birthday gift for a 4-year-old. You beat me a little bit on this question because I have that later on, but I often do jelly rolls for the back of my quilt just because it's easy. It's easy and it still looks like you put effort into it, okay? I'm all about that, like effort and I don't know, looking like effort without the effort. Does that make sense? Like it looks like I did a really, really good job, but I didn't have to slave over it, But yes, you can do a jelly roll for the front and the back of the quilt. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. As long as you're probably okay with like perhaps excuse me, you know, maybe they don't meet up precisely from the front and the back of the quilt. Like, hold on, water time. So if you're okay with that, then I would say yes. If you're going to be like really, really specific about it and the lines have to match up perfectly on the front and the back, sorry, you can't tell, but I've got like the front of the quilt here and the back of the quilt here, then I wouldn't do a one on the front and the back. So Angel saying that we should plan a retreat in Houston. Girl, I am on it. Just you wait. I'm on it. I'm in talks with a couple other people, and I'm thinking about planning something kind of, because I talk about it all the time. The International Quilt Fest, which is the largest quilt festival world, happens to be here in Houston, and I'm thinking about doing something in November, right after the Quilt Fest. So, anyways, thank you, Tanis. You said that my lemonade retreat was awesome, and I have plans for something like that maybe in the summer again, but things have been kind of weird. So, okay, let's get to sewing because I don't want to take up too much time talking. The first thing that you're going to do, and sorry, you're going to hear a little bit squeak in my voice still, but the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take the end of your piece right here. Now, it doesn't matter how short you've cut these pieces, okay? Whether you use pieces that are about this long or whether you use pieces that are the 40-inch long, or like I did the 20-inch long ones, okay? Now, I didn't sew all of my pieces. I still have a few of them here, but what I did was I started like this. So you're going to take your pieces just like this, and you're going to sew them. Sorry, you're going to put them together, right sides together. Okay, so you have like the wrong side of your fabric, which is the kind of duller side. And then this is the definitely brighter side. This is the right side of your fabric. So you're going to put your right sides together. And then you're going to put it on your machine, and you're going to sew 1/4 of an inch. Now, I've talked a little bit about, just if you follow other blog posts and things that I do, I talk about ways to make sure that you get your foundation skills right, okay? So 1/4 of an inch means, let me see if I can find one here that I can show you. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the actual like sewing line on there, but there it is right there. So see, there's 1/4 of an inch between this and the edge of the fabric. So that just makes sure that your pieces are together and they are sewn, and you've got a little bit of wiggle room so that they're not going to come apart. Your 1/4 of an inch is your standard sewing measurement, okay? So we're going to put the ends together. Notice these right here are lined up, all the way across is lined up, and down is lined up. The beauty of these jelly roll quilts is you don't get to control a lot, okay? Now, for somebody, if like completely chaotic and fun is you, that's wonderful. For me, I tend to kind of hyper focus on, okay, I want this fabric to be next to this fabric, and I like the way that these fabrics work together. And, we bought a jelly roll, right? And all the fabrics go together. That's a really, really good question. So your stitch length, when you're piecing, is going to be between a 1.8 and a 2. That's about the range that I normally go. Anything smaller than that, and it takes a long time. But so I like to go between a 1.8 and a 2 as your stitch length. If you go like larger than that, the stitches tend to be a little bit looser and done before you actually get to sew them. So I want you to go ahead and start putting your pieces together. I just unrolled my stuff from the little cute spirally thing that it was, and I just randomly picked them. Like I cut them in half because I made the 20-inch ones, right? And I cut them in half and I put them all in a pile. And as I'm pulling these out, there's a certain freedom that you get from just pulling out whatever comes next, okay? I'm not trying to pick out like, I need a green, and because I need this next, I'm going to pick this, it's with a jelly roll quilt, there is no stress to it. It all comes together because you have a fabric roll that all blends together anyways. Your quilt's going to look amazing. Okay. It's going to look amazing and it is wonderful. So go ahead and put those two pieces wrong sides together. And then we're going to run it through our sewing machine. And then I'll tell you what to do next. So you can keep going, just start. And then I have a few things that I'm going to talk about. So you can start sewing and start working, and don't worry about like getting far behind or anything. This is a really chill night. We still have plenty of time on here. So let's see, I've got a couple questions here that I'm going to go ahead and answer, but y'all can go ahead and start sewing. It says, as I was making masks, I leftover fabric into 2.5-inch strips. So using that random lengths. I love it, Rita. That's really, really good. The example that I have to show in a little bit was just using scrap fabrics. So that is awesome. Jeannie says, can we use the whole strip? Yes. Yes, you can use the whole strip. So you can use the full 40-inch length. That's the one that I did on the example video where I did the whole tutorial on it. I just used the 40-inch lengths, and that's perfectly fine. There's your jelly roll quilt is going to be unique to you. There's no right or way or wrong. Sorry, let me say that again. There's no right or wrong way to do this. The quilt is going to be amazing. So am I sewing end to end? Yes, so I have this piece of fabric and this piece of fabric, and I'm sewing these two ends together. And then my next strip, to answer your question, is that I'm going to take the end that doesn't have one, and I'm going to sew the other. So I'm making like a really, 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 really long chain, like a snake almost, just one super long strip. Like I think what was it, like 1,600 inches or something like that? I can't remember exactly what the actual length is. Whatever 40 times 40. So 1,600 inches is about what this long strip will be. And so we're going to keep sewing. Let me sew a couple of these. If you have questions, go ahead, still put them in the chat. I'm going to still be watching for those. Yes, thank you, Linda. I'm doing my math here. Oh, Sharon, I'm so sorry that your jelly roll didn't come in, but I'm glad that you joined us for the party anyways. That's fantastic. So, oh yes, thank you. You can sew them on the diagonal. That's another like design choice. It doesn't really change your quilt in either way. I thank you for pointing that out. I tend to sew them straight every single time, but if you want to sew them diagonally, this is what you're going to do. You're going to have to sew them almost like you would like when you're doing like your binding pieces. So you would sew them where they're like this, and then you would sew on the diagonal right there, so that when you open them up, let me see if I can do this where it looks half decent. So when you open them up, they're going to be like this, where you have that nice diagonal line instead of a straight line. So how many strips are in each row? Sharon, right now what we're doing is we're just sewing one really, really, really long piece. So I'm not worrying about rows right now or anything. We're just sewing one really, really long piece. You'll see as it comes together, that's when the rows and stuff start to come together. And so it says, doesn't matter if we see the selvage ends, I don't think a 1/4 inch will hide it. Right. You can either chop off the selvage ends, or sometimes I just like to, pretend there's a selvage right here. I just scoot it up, and then I sew like right down here instead of, worrying about the selvage end. Yeah, if you don't want the selvage end in there, because you will see it when you open up your fabrics like this and you see the selvage, you'll still see it on your quilt. So you can either scoot it down and then trim it off a little bit later, or you can take your scissors and chop it off right now before you get to it. So if some of your selvages have the little holes, this is all kind of relative math, which is my favorite kind of math. Okay, like it doesn't have to be 100% exact. If you think about like moving 1/8 of an inch over, it's not going to ruin your entire quilt. Okay. So if the little bitty holes bother you, just kind of, scoot your fabric over just a bit to where that those will actually be in your seams and keep going. So jelly roll quilts are fun. They're meant to be fun. They're not meant to be stressful. And as long as this part is easy, you want a nice straight seam if you can get it, or like the diagonal seam, but still like nice and straight where there's not any like weird puckers of fabric. And when we move to the next step is when you'll really want to focus on your 1/4 inch seams. Okay, so excuse me. Make sure that you have those seams. I'm going to go ahead and sew these. If you have some more questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, but I'm also going to grab a cough drop here so that I can keep talking. And then let's go ahead and sew the rest of these pieces together and kind of tell me where you're at, if you're like still way far behind, or if you need a little bit more time, or if you're good to go. Let me know where you're at in the chat. I'm going to sew a few of these pieces together, and then we will continue on from there. Let's see. Oh, we've got somebody from Northern Illinois. Just arrived home from your weekly quilt group. Nice. So you got 2 sewing parties tonight. That's fantastic, Karen. Now, I think I showed you in the actual tutorial video, I don't break my thread in between when I'm sewing because my strips are longer. If you have shorter strips, then you'll need to go ahead and cut your thread while you're in between your, oh my gosh, hold on. Let me say that word and not confusing. Hold on. Okay. That's why I said I can't sew and talk at the same time. So if you have really short strips or like uneven sized strips, if you kind of went like rogue and just did whatever you wanted, which I love and I completely welcome you doing, by all means, quilting should be fun. It should not be crazy. It was crazy strict, rather. Let me put it that way. If your strips are smaller, I kind of sew mine and then I loop it back around and sew the other end to the next one. So in between, I actually have like almost like a chain stitching, where there's just bits of string thread in between. So you may have to cut your lines in between. So got one more here to do. Don't panic if you're running behind a little bit. Okay. Okay, Sandy, you asked how many jelly rolls do you need for a baby, a full, a queen, etc. Let me show you something. Maybe. Okay, so I did put out a video, not yesterday, but the week before, about jelly roll math. Okay, and hopefully y'all understood all of that, because that's really important to know when you're trying to figure that out. So this is your standard jelly roll. It's 40 strips of fabric that are 40 inches long. This is a like mini jelly roll, and it's still wrapped. It still has the packaging on it. So this is 20 strips of pieces that are 40 inches long. This will make a good baby size quilt. And actually, I have a video that I posted using a jelly roll size, that size. It's on my YouTube channel, and it's a rail fence one, so it's a little bit different, but it did make a baby size one. It's the right amount of fabric for baby size one. This one, which is what we're using tonight, which is just your standard 40 pieces, that'll make a really good throw size quilt. If you watch the video on jelly roll math, that will tell you how much you need for a queen size, how much you need for a king size, and if you just decide to go rogue and make it all your own. So Kathy said, how many strips did you say to sew together? We're using the whole jelly roll, girl. So all of them. Just keep going until you run out. So, oh, thank you, Sandra. I'm glad that you watched it and it sounded very understandable because if you would have told me that I would be giving a math instruction video a few years ago, I would have said you might be a little bit off your rocker. But jelly roll and quilt math, I get. Quilt math, I get. It's like the regular math that I had so much trouble with. Oh, thank you. I'm glad several of you are saying that it was good. So this is what I kind of end up, whoops, there we go. This is what I kind of end up with my quilts when I sew them. Okay, well now it's really funny. When I sew them and I kind of chain piece them together is they just kind of all end up with this one long string. But you can see that my pieces were long enough to sew right here, and then without cutting my thread, I went and I sewed the other end. So I'm going to now go and just pop these real quick. I showed this in the video too, but this is just, it's a little plastic pyramid, I guess. Not really a pyramid, but anyways, it's this little thing, and it has a little blade right here in the center that you can't cut yourself on, which is really nice and handy. But it's really nice for chain piecing. So it just helps you. You can't see what I'm doing here, but I just take this string and I pull it down and it cuts it right there. So if anybody is still sewing, go ahead and continue sewing. No problems here. Just keep doing what you're doing. And if you get too far behind, you can just kind of watch and see where we're going. I'm going to try not to keep y'all all night here because, you know, I enjoy talking to you. So what else do we have? Okay, should I iron all the seams on the long strips? Let's see, somebody else said, finish sewing the strips together. Only had to rip one stitch out. Nice job, B. Thought I had made more mistakes. Good job. Only ripping one seam out. You know what? That is going to be a good day for you. So should you iron all the seams on the long strips? I don't. Depending on who you ask, you might get something different. But technically, oh, Heidi only had to rip one out too. Good job. If depending on your fabric, okay, if you have really, really light colored fabric that is sewn right next to really, really dark colored fabric, and you're worried that it's going to show through on your actual quilt, you may want to give it like a really quick press open. But the fabrics that I chose don't, they're not going to really be able to see through them. So, okay, here we go. A stronger seam in your quilt is going to be one that is folded to one side. Okay, one that is going to last like longer through the washing machine and longer over time is one that is, I'm sorry, not sewn to the side, pressed to the side. Okay, so these are so short, I actually just kind of finger press them as I'm sewing them together in the next step. I don't take my iron to this because I don't want to. If I could give you a better reason than that, I would. But, you know, I don't like to do extra work. I like to do the fun part. And for me, ironing is not the fun part. Now, I will go ahead and iron this whole quilt top before I actually like go to like baste it. So I am what you would call probably not your traditional by the rule book quilter. I like more the artistic side of it, but I know how to quilt and I've kind of figured it out on my own. Now if I had like formal teaching and somebody like breathing down my neck saying you have to iron every single seam, I might feel differently about it. But if the final product is something that I'm happy with and I've saved that amount of time by the iron, I'm okay with it. So you may feel a little bit different than me, and that's okay. That's fine. You know, I don't judge you for, you know, an iron if you want to. That's probably more of what a definite traditional quilter would do. So let's see. Denise says, do you have a video about what to do about the batting out of the package and how to do backs for this or any other quilt? So I do have a video on ideas for the backs of your quilt, or maybe it's a blog post. I think it might have been a blog post. Sorry, I get them a little bit confused. For ideas for the backs of your quilt, like if you just want to be creative rather than like, I know, especially if you're doing like a solid piece of fabric and you have to piece it with another piece of fabric, how to be creative about that and kind of hide it to where it doesn't look like you know, ran out of fabric. I do have a blog post on that. For the back of this quilt, I mean, the sky's the limit. It's really your quilt, you know, whether you want to do like a whole cloth back or, you know, we talked about, I'm so sorry, I forget who it was with earlier, but doing like a jelly roll for the back. So really the sky is the limit. You know, definitely before you, I've got a tingle here. Before you put this on your batting and all that, I would definitely hit it with the iron then to make sure that your seams are nice and flat so you're not going to get any wonky bits in your quilt top before you actually do the quilting. But let's see. I'm trying to keep up with all of your comments. Had one strip that was backwards, but you left it as the print was dark. You know, I mean, it's your quilt. You know, anybody who, in my theory, which very, very nicely put, is if you don't like my quilt, that's okay. I like my quilt, and I think that's what really matters as an artist. So, so yes, long strip. Who asked? Anne, this video, yes, I will post it again so you can watch it later. However, the contests that I'm doing are all live. So there is, you will be able to watch this later, and I'm going to send you the link later on this evening after this is all over. So let's see. Ready to roll. This has not come up before. You put a little sewing needle in there. That is so cute. Okay, so you're ready to roll. I'm almost ready to roll. I told you I can't sew and talk at the same time. I'm not even sewing right now. But okay, so you're ready. Wash it before putting it together with batting. No. Nope. Because you're really going to test those seams out before you do the quilting. So if you are going to ever wash fabric, it's not this stuff, because as soon as you run this through the washer, I don't know, can you see, like, it's kind of hard to tell here. There's like lots of fuzzy things here on the side. As soon as you put this through the washing machine, it is going to turn to shreds. Even on like a really gentle cycle, it's going to pull at these things. The only way that you would wash your fabric is if it was like the whole big thing. Let's see, not ironing and trimming the ends perfectly is something that is new for me. It's testing out your need to be perfect. Well, you have met your match, sweetie, because I am very much a perfectionist too. And, you know, quilting is an art form, right? And the way that I kind of get around the perfectionist aspect of it is I am making something that even if you were to buy the exact same jelly roll as me, your quilt's not going to look like mine at all. I'm making something that is completely unique. You know, even if I use somebody else's pattern or whatever, my quilt's going to be all my own. It's going to have my own mistakes in it. And I mean, you can't be perfect on something that is one of a kind and has never ever been done before. So that's how I kind of get around it. And you know, figure out how you want to measure perfection. If it's like your perfect 1/4 inch seams, that's kind of important. You can't just like start making up measurements. But you know, yeah, just just have fun with it. Okay, so I see that several people are good to go. Um, so I have a video on selecting batting, is what Shelly asks. I know I have a blog post on the different types of batting, but as far as selecting batting, I just kind of go with whatever. I really, really like bamboo batting, but it can be expensive. I like buy the really, really big rolls on Amazon, and then I work my way through it because buying in bulk is better, but also buying in bulk means you have to have somewhere to store this giant roll of batting for a while. So I also like to what is the Warm and Natural brand is my favorite. It's like it has a really crinkly feel to it more than like the polyester does. It's 100% cotton. I definitely like that over like the polyester. Lots of people already. Okay. Y'all are like, come on, Kristen, stop talking. It's time to sew. That's what we're here for. So, okay. So find your two ends. Okay. One end of the 1600 inches and the other end of the 1600 inches. This is very important. After this, everything is pretty much the same, okay? But because, now, this is if your strips are the same size, okay? So because this right here is the same size as this one, I'm going to start it about halfway down, okay? So yes, this gets lost. You can cut it off and you don't need it. But by starting it halfway down, look what happens here. Another thing, do not stress if you're like, oh my God, my pieces are so twisted and tangled, okay? So somebody's really realizing how long this strip of fabric is. But just wait, okay? And like, let's time ourselves, all right? In under 45 minutes, this is gonna be a quilt top, and you're gonna be so impressed with yourself, okay? So the reason that we started about halfway down right here is because look, right here where this seam is, it's in the middle of this strip right here. And then when we go down where this seam is, it's in the middle of this strip right here. So if I were to start them at exactly the same spot up here, our seams are going to hit each other. And you know what happens if they hit each other? Your eye is going to kind of want them to be like perfectly aligned, because that's how our quilter brains are trained, is like our seams need to be aligned. They need to be nice and sandwiched together and nested nicely, right? So we're going to take out that factor altogether. It's not even going to be an issue on this quilt, okay? Jelly roll quilts are fun. You're going to hear me say that like a million times, but I mean it. Jelly roll quilts are fun. So if all of your strips are different sizes, this is fine. Don't worry about it. But to make sure that your seams don't have to come together or overlap in such a way that your brain is going to want to like pick it and kind of twist it to make it right. So if you're very twisted and tangled, Amy, okay, do not worry. We're going to figure it out. Oh, my sewing machine timed out. There we go. Come back. We'll figure it out once we get to the end. Okay. So this giant like pile of fabric that I have here next to my desk, next to my machine, it goes on the floor. Okay. It goes down by my feet so that I can like pull up long strips of it as I need it. Okay. That way it stays kind of out of the way, but is nice and loose. You don't want it pulling back. So I am going to, with my strip halfway down, I'm going to start sewing 1/4 inch all the way down one side of this. Okay. And when you come to, if you didn't press like me, when you come to one of these seams, just fold it over. Okay. Just fold it to one side. If you really, really want to, you can press it open with your fingers, but so sorry if you can hear the dogs through all of that. But I just tend to press it to one side just to make it easier. And so I am going to give my voice a break for just a minute, and y'all can go ahead and start sewing. Let's do another giveaway. Why not? So just for registering for tonight, y'all were entered to win a $25 Amazon gift card. And if you are here tonight when I call your name, email me it's Kristen at icstarsquilting.com, or you can find me on, whatever social media or whatever. And let me know and I will get you your Amazon gift card. So I have Cynthia Richardson. Make sure you post in here that you're here because I have 2 of them to give away, actually, 2 of them. And if you're not here, then I'm going to go to somebody else. So Cynthia Richardson and Roxy Sherburne. Are you girls here? So yes, if you're all kinds of twisted, don't sweat it, okay? Don't spend all that time trying to untwist this super long. Yay, Roxy's here. Okay. Cynthia, you have a few more minutes to claim your card. Otherwise, I'm moving to somebody else. So, oh, yay. It's you. Okay, wait. Oh, it said Cynthia Richardson. Is that you too? Yay. Okay, awesome. You're both here. Okay, so you 2 girls need to contact me and I will get you your gift card so you can go buy new sewing things. Okay. Yes, Cynthia, it's you. We're good to go. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's sew on this for a little bit. I'm gonna rest my voice for a second, and then we are going to keep moving on this. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way down. This is like the longest seam on this quilt that you will sew. So it's gonna feel like forever. And hopefully you started with like a new bobbin in here, but if you need to switch out halfway through, just keep going. So this is the very longest seam in this entire quilt. After this, it gets easier and easier and easier. But let's go ahead and do that. And I will come back in just a few minutes after I get done with this seam. Also, I sew at your own pace. There's no pressure in here, okay? Okay. I should have had music. I'm sorry, girls. I did not like bring the party. I should have had some music here, but I don't know. YouTube can be funny with that. So, again, if you have any questions that come up, make sure you put them in all caps. And I'm going to be watching the chat too while I sew. Can you kind of see what I'm doing? If I do that a little bit, you can see a bit. It's kind of shiny under there, but there. Heidi said top to bottom together, sewing all the way right. Yes, you're doing right sides of fabric together. So the pretty sides of fabric are facing each other like this. So this is like the duller side, and this is definitely the prettier side of fabric. Right sides together, you're doing 1/4 of an inch from here all the way down, all the way down. Now, if you get like into this twisted mess at the bottom, just wait for me for just a few minutes until I get there and I'll show you what to do, but don't panic, okay? Don't think that you've completely ruined it, okay? And yes, the entire strip all the way down. Keep going until you get to the end. If you've got a twist there, just leave about like, I don't know, 6 inches or so. More if you need to. It's not exact, but leave enough in there that we can work with it, and I'll show you how to do it. So, Amy, your dog is not a very good quilter. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's sew all the way down. Oh, Julianne, yes, we're stitching the entire strip. And Jennifer, yay, congratulations, you made it here. Just got off work. So you missed a little bit of this, but there will be a link that I'll send you later tonight where you can watch the entire video, okay? So let's sew all the way down, and then we'll come back, okay? Again, if you get stuck, you have questions, go ahead and let me know, okay? I just kind of sew until, let's see, so we're sewing 2 strips, the length of the roll divided by 2. So the 2 ends down the side. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, so basically you're taking this whole long 16 inches, you're going to fold it in half to where it's like 800 inches. with that little bitty like jog at the front I told you about if your strips are all the same size. Okay, that way that your seams don't tend to line up. They're kind of offset like a almost like a brick pattern. Okay. But yes, all the way down. And I tend to like grab a section about like, from my sewing machine to me, make sure that they're lined up, and then I'll sew that whole section together while I press the seams to the side. So look at that. We got another Texas girl in here. Congratulations, ladies. Yes, Sheree, exactly. I wanted to bring music, but I was so afraid that YouTube was going to get mad at me. But you're welcome to play music while I sew. I just for you. But if we have an in-person retreat, there will be music. And just sew at your own pace. There's no Jelly roll quilts are supposed to be fun. Remember that? Jelly roll quilts are supposed to be fun. Carol says, are there written instructions? No, there's not written instructions, but I do have a more formal tutorial video where I basically I didn't do the chit chat stuff in between. So it's I think it's like 24 minutes versus however long it's been right now. So I'm sure somebody has written instructions on it, but I don't have written instructions on it. I just have the video for it. So are you, Carol, are you kind of are you stuck somewhere, or are you just like a by the book type of girl, which is totally fine. We need good people like you in the world that would listen to the instructions instead of me who like does what I want. Okay, and I'm going to take a few more minutes and instead of talking and just go ahead and sew through this. That way I can show you what to do at the bottom. Because once I show you one time, you'll be able to do the rest of this quilt on your own, no problem. And then I could probably chat some more. Also, if you don't know already, gel will leave you very, very thready. Okay, you're gonna have lots of little threads all over you. You're gonna wear your quilt just a bit. Not rushing anybody, but once you're done with this first round or you're ready to move on to the next step, go ahead and put that in the chat so I kind of know where everybody's at. And if your stuff gets all twisted, just untwist it and keep going until you get to the bottom. We'll worry about how to undo it when we get there. All right, somebody's already at the twisted tail. I talk too much. You're gonna have to wait on me for just a moment. about that. It's okay. Jelly roll quilts are very forgiving. Just keep going. So what happens to all the little flyaways? You wear them for a while. You wear them until you like get up and then like go over to your trash can and just kind of scoop it all off. But as far as in the quilt, you can either like, they really, really bother you, you can trim them, or you can just leave them there and don't worry about it. They'll be in like your seams, so they won't show on the actual quilt. After you sew, you're gonna get like this like almost like a ribbon candy looking thing behind your sewing machine. I just toss it back there and let it fall off the edge of the table and keep going. Somebody's already run out of bobbin. It's okay. It's okay. You got plenty of time. I have lots of stuff down here. So don't worry about being late. It's okay. It's okay. You know, I will have a replay of this so that you can watch, but you're here now. So there's a couple other games that we're gonna do, and you'll be here for those as well. So you know what you need to do? Just breathe, take a night to yourself, close the door to wherever you are, and have fun with us. That's all you need to do. So if you do want to still sew later on, you can totally follow this video again. Where did my thing go? Well, I got really excited. Hold on. So one of my ends out. What's going on? Ah, there it is. Nope, that's not it. So y'all are doing just fine. I saw that while I was talking, there it is. I actually had a seam that came out. So I'm going to fix that real quick. Again, no stress in this, but you just saw all of the almost like cartoon like fabric that I have coming out of here. Okay, back to business. Like I said, after we get down to the bottom here, you'll be able to do the rest of this absolutely no problem by yourself. And this is the longest seam that you'll sew. So if you get to the bottom of this, check your bobbin and make sure that you don't need another one. I love that you girls are chatting with each other. Keep each other company while I am sewing here. Somebody got to the end with no tangles. Oh my goodness. That is like, I don't know, worthy of some award or something. How much thread does my bobbin hold? I don't know. I'm sure it says it in the manual, but I don't know. That seems like a really good like Jeopardy question or something that like nobody really knows in real life, but it would be really handy on a game show. Look at you. You're all in like solidarity in your tangles. I love it. You just accept that it's a little wrinkle in life that you're fixing to straighten out. As soon as I get down to the bottom of this, I'm going to show you how. You don't think there's an end? There's an end, I swear. If you can get through this, you can do this. You got this. We got this. It's going to be great. We can do this. Oh, Amanda, okay. You can watch the recording. If you have any questions later on when your back is all better and you can do this, email me and I'll help you through it. But hopefully we'll have some more quilts to show you in a little bit, and I hope your back feels better. Good night. Okay, I'm still going. Still going. Some of you ladies must sew at lightning speed. Uh, somebody else got it with no twist. Beautiful. And Cynthia, you're ahead of me. That's okay. You do you. You keep sewing. You watch the tutorial video. I know you did, girl. No twist in the tail. Fantastic. And Nancy's moving on because Kristen's slow and she thinks that I'm way too slow because I talk way too much. I'm getting close. Not really. I'm gonna keep going. What did I set? Oh, I set a limit of another 45 minutes and then I talked too much. We're gonna keep going. Yes, I love these quilts. They're really, really fun. And I promise once I get to the end of this, I'm not gonna hold y'all back on your next step. So y'all will be able to just go free. But yes, this is a really, really fun project to teach to all ages. As long as they have patience and can sew through 800 inches all the way down, you got this. Oh my, okay. It keeps going. How are we doing on time, everybody? I was kind of thinking about 2 hours for this, but we may run just a little bit, like a tiny bit longer, if that's okay. Is everybody good on time? Okay, awesome. I see lots of good. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'm gonna try really, really hard to keep us on time because, like I said, I know some of you are uh, East Coast, which is getting a little bit late, but late for Thursday. But hopefully, you're not too late tonight. We all are going way too fast. Okay, y'all are just chatting now. That's fine. If you have any questions, make sure you put them in all caps for me. I think I win on the number of twists that I have here. Nearly 3 in the morning. Did you get up for me? Oh my goodness. I appreciate you, sweetheart. I do. That is hopefully you're not normally up at this time. Oh no. You're running out of bobbin. You will be able to sew a straight line by the end. Yes. This is practice, girl. I don't know if I'm going to make it on this bobbin. It's getting a little low, but I'm getting close to the end, and I'm so sorry that you girls are having to wait on me. I know. Oops. I got a little bit too ahead of myself. This is where those pre-wound bobbins come in handy, right? Ignore that. We're good. I'm just knocking things off the table. Good. Y'all keep giving each other really good. Oh, Stitch in the Ditch Foot is not good for this project. I did not follow my. It was almost full. It was almost full. My bobbin was. You said I did not follow my own recommendations for a full bobbin. No, but I have about 9 of them sitting over here that are completely full. Husband just said I sew like I drive. Absolutely. Pedal to the floor. Why else would you do anything? I mean, anything different. Newer quilter, does the Stitch in the Ditch Foot help? Somebody already answered that, but no, I would either go with a flat foot or a 1/4 inch foot would help too. If you don't have a 1/4 inch foot, it's generally not a really big, I'm sorry, I'm sounding squeaky again. It's generally not a big investment on most of your machines. So I would suggest looking into it. It just kind of helps hold your fabric a little bit on that side. And I have like a whole post on my blog about that as well. If you just look up 1/4 inch foot, like in the search box, you'll see that post. Yes, I agree. The 1/4 inch foot is definitely a game changer. Um, and sometimes it's just experience that helps you learn those things. You know, the longer you go quilting, the more you like go into somebody else's quilting room, you'll find all kinds of stuff that you never knew even existed. And I still find that to this day, little tips and tricks and things like that. And then I come and share them with you so that you know exactly what they are. Okay, I can see the end here. I'm going to give it like 3 more long stretches of sewing, and then I should be at the end. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this sew along, Linda. It is really nice to sew with other people. We will maybe we'll have to do this more often. You know, y'all can kind of give me your opinions if you really like this style of video, or if you would rather do it on Zoom where you can like see everybody else, as long as we all sign like clauses on like keeping your microphone muted, because like as many sewing machines going at one time would kind of be insane. But you know, maybe we could do more of these. Jennifer, you can finish more than this. Look at this, guys. Ah, yes. Okay, getting close to the end here. Is everybody else way ahead of me? Are y'all kind of in the same spot? I know Cherie said she's doing whatever she wants and she's gone on and she's moved way past us, and that's okay. But you know, where are you at as far as sewing? Have you all kind of gotten to the end where it's all like loopy weird at the end? Because I'm almost there and I'm going to show you what to do next. Oh, your needle fell out of your machine while you were sewing. You were a little bit too pedal to the metal, girl. You knew what you were doing. You also need to be careful that you're not like stretching or pulling your fabric, because if you watch what I'm doing, I'm like starting way back here and like letting the machine pull it in. But if you're kind of pulling it forward a little bit, it might pull on your needle some. So, okay, Shelly, it's okay. Just keep going and keep working on it. No rush on this, but I am going to show you what to do, and you'll want to pay attention for that. Okay. Yes, Cindy, I'm glad that you did my class like last year. That's a really, really good class. I love it too. And that's a really good segue into what I'm going to announce next. But you beat me to it. So somebody got my email today. Okay. Getting close to the end here, and then I'll show you what we're going to do, because this is something that really trips people up about this is when the end ends up like this, people go, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Watch this. Hold on. We're getting so close. Okay, so I've sewn about as far as I can go, where I have a little bit here. Watch what we're going to do. All right. Scissors. Simple, plain. kind of get it somewhere close to the end here, and then just try and cut as straight a cut as you can to where it's like a 90-degree angle from the side, because you don't want to like cut some really weird funky angle. Just cut like a 90-degree from the side. And I often find that, well, I did it again here. I was gonna say, I often find that I'm not exactly in the center. This is not a big deal, guys. It's just like a half an inch and we're not gonna worry about it, okay? So simply make a cut on the end and then untwisty it and continue sewing all the way down. Okay, so let me know, was that pretty clear? Y'all kind of like feel like a light bulb went off, like, oh my gosh, why did I kind of freak out about all those little twisty things at the end, even though Kristen said don't freak out about all those twisty things at the end? Oh, good. I'm so glad, Alice, that you watched the previous video, so you kind of know where we're at and what we're doing. And for those of you coming on late, you missed the spiel at the beginning, but I got sick last week, and so I'm over here downing lemon water and cough drops so that I can continue to have my voice for the rest of this evening here. So go ahead and finish sewing all the way down after you get your twisty parts out, and just keep working, okay? And then I'm going to show you what to do after I get all the way down here. Okay. Now, if you're still sewing, it's okay, but I want you to pay attention for just a second. Let me do this so you can see my head here. Okay, so what we have right here is we have our two beautiful rows. They're sewn together. We did not have to worry about the seams coming together, which is often like a stressor for kind of new quilters, right? We didn't have to worry about the seams coming together, making sure that they're perfect. We didn't ever take any notes on like what fabric was touching what fabric. We just like minded our edges all the way down. So the edge that you just did, okay, even if it's like a little bit funky on the end, you know, where you didn't quite cut it in the center, I like to trim that off just so I know where I'm starting. Make it nice and even at the top. And then you're going to pull down everything that you have sewn before to where you can find your other end. So if you're still sewing, keep sewing. I'll pull you back in just a minute for more instruction. As soon as I find the end here, wherever it went, there it is. Okay, so the top has the end that I did like, I brought it down about halfway. Remember to kind of offset the very, very first strip. So I'm going to trim that off. Now I'm going to take my two ends that I just finished. So I've got two pieces. Whoops. Let's try that again. I have two pieces of fabric here and two pieces of fabric here, right? I'm going to put them right sides together, just like that. And I'm going to sew exact same process. No new skills here. You've already got what you need to know. All the way down this side, okay? So we went from a 1600-inch piece to an 800-inch piece, right? Now we're going to take our 800-inch piece and we're going to go to a 400-inch piece, okay? So sewing all the way down the side, and then when you and then when you open it up, I'm sorry, I see some of your comments and they're really cute. Okay, then when you open it up, it's going to be 4 pieces, right? Okay, and I'm saying this because that way you don't have to wait on me, because I have some other things that I want to show, and you can just watch while I'm doing it. So after that, once you get all the way down to the end, not going to worry about the twisty pieces anymore, right? You're just going to cut it, sew it all the way down, and then you're going to take all the way that end, and you're going to bring it up. So is this clear to you? Let me know in the chat. Tell me if this is clear to you, like you're just chopping it in half, bringing the two pieces together, your two ends together, and then sewing them again, cutting it at the bottom and sewing it again. Now, if you get to the bottom and there's no twisty pieces, somehow you've made something amazing, you're still to cut at the bottom, okay? Because you want it to open up. If these were like stuck together, you would get some weird, like, I don't know, rainbowish shape here. So you're still going to make that cut. You're going to cut it in half, and then you're going to go back to the top and you're going to sew it. So awesome. Everybody's like, clear, Kristen, we got this. We are amazing professional jelly roll quilters now. We don't need your help anymore. I got it. It's fine. But that's what I want you to be, okay? I want you to go, this is not hard. This is easy. This is easy, you know? And the beautiful thing about this, and I'm going to say it again and again and again, is there's no stress to this. It's straight quilting. And once you get to like, this is like a really, really long strip, but every single time we're cutting our long strip of sewing in half, right? So it's going to build. It's going to go from 4 pieces to 8 pieces. Then it's going to go from 8 pieces to 16 pieces across. And then from 16 pieces to 32 pieces across, okay? It's incredible. And once you get to the 30, I got to check my notes on that because I think you'll have to double check. It's either, I think you do one more after the 32 to where it's 64. No. So 64 pieces is when you stop, okay? Somebody's getting cat hair all over their quilt. It's just a little confetti. It's fine. You don't worry about it. But so you're just gonna keep going, okay? Once you get to the where it's 32 across, let me see. 32 times 2 is like 60. Yeah, it should be 32 rows, okay? And then you stop and you're done. And that's the whole quilt. And it's gorgeous, and you'll have like this beautiful mix match. Now I'm gonna sew on this later on, okay? Because we'll be here all night if I have to talk to you and sew at the same time. So I'm gonna sew on this later on. So check my Instagram stories tomorrow, or yeah, tomorrow. I should be able to do it tomorrow. And you'll be able to see like my finished quilt, because I'm like, this is like a really good magic trick, you know? Like, how much fabric does she have under the table? So much fabric, you guys. So you do 5 levels. Okay. Thank you, Libby, for that. I appreciate that, because, you know, I don't know, it's different when you have it in your hands and you can pull it out and be like, wow, it's done, instead of like trying to figure it out in your head, because it's a no stress quilt. You just sew and you do it, and the quilt comes together how the quilt wants to come together, right? So Bee's over here bragging that she had no twists in her stuff. It's like a new I'm an amazing quilter term, is I have no twists in there. So let me see. Sharon says, so as I understand it, you start out with one long strip, 40 strips that are 40 inches long, and then you keep putting strips together, one end to the next. Yes, so you're going to make a strip that is 40 pieces that are long, or you can do with the one that I did, I cut those 40 pieces in half. So I actually ended up with 80 strips, same amount of fabric, but the piece actually ends up as one really, really, really long 1,600 inch long strip of fabric. Okay, so it's end to end to end to end. Like this, I've already sewn in half, but this is one long piece of fabric right here that I sewed to this fabric right here, and just did it. I do it straight. There are some people who do it on a diagonal too, so that's totally up to you. Though I don't have any examples on the diagonal, but you could probably find them on like Pinterest or something, because jelly roll quilts, there is no right way to do it. But somebody didn't have a twisted tail. Bragging again. I love it. let me show you this quilt that I just finished last night, actually. And it's another example of what we're doing. And this is like giant. So in my jelly roll math video that I did, I said you can make them bigger than if you're cutting the strips yourself. This is part of the kit that I just did. This is one of the Tula Pink ones from the example that I have. You can see just for size, like this is a 2.5-inch strip. I made these at 3.5-inch strip. So, and this, I just used a lot of scrap fabrics for this one, okay? So you can see that like having the different sizes kind of makes it for a little bit more, I don't know, interest, right? And here, look at this side. This side has like a lot of, it has elephants, it has pink, it has black, it has like short pieces of black, it has some music notes up here. You know, in this example, or this spot rather, all of the elephants are actually facing like the right way. But with jelly roll quilts, you don't really get to choose all the time which way your fabric faces. So it's just, it does what it wants. And the way that they come together is really, really beautiful. Now, here's the thing. With this quilt, it's a scrappy one, right? So I didn't exactly like do the math in my head ahead of time to figure out like how much I needed. I just kept cutting and I kept cutting and I kept cutting. And it turns out that I made enough for the front and the back of this queen size quilt. Like I said to myself, like, too much is okay, but not enough is not okay. And so I went way, way, way overboard. And I made enough to do the front and the back of this quilt. So Claire said, can you do the front and the back out of a jelly roll? You absolutely can, because I'm fixing to do it on this one once I quilt it. Is yeah, I'm gonna do, this is gonna be the front, and I don't know, there's like so much. This is just the top, y'all, and it's so heavy. But you know, there's so many different colors in here. And yeah, the 3.5-inch ones, Carol, they will help you get height faster, because with the 2.5-inch strips, they actually come out at 2 inches. Your quilt, right, on the quilt top, they actually come out at 2 inches. So if you increase it and you're cutting your own strips, you can do like a little bit larger, right? And it'll help kind of build height faster. So you'll have a little bit more fabric coverage in there. But so this is an example that I wanted to show y'all with the slightly larger blocks and being very, very scrappy. I mean, this is just, you know, this is scraps from like leftover from my elephant quilt that I made recently, the Violet Craft one, and just random bits that I had that I really, really like. There's some Allison Glass fabric in here, and yeah. So that being like, you don't have to measure, but sometimes it's a good idea so you don't go completely overboard with your fabric. But so you know, I took it upstairs because my daughter has a queen size bed in her room. I took it upstairs. Can you back it with flannel? Let me answer that real quick. If it is an entire piece of flannel and you're doing the entire backing in flannel, I would say yes, you can. Typically, I still do the batting in between, just because I like the thickness of it. And when you quilt it, you kind of get the poofier, you know, the valleys and the hills and all of that. What was the actual term for that? The quilting shows better, you know. I forget, when I talk to like actual professional quilters, I still use terms like the poofiness of it, and that's kind of a side effect of being a self-taught quilter. But yeah, so the only reason I would kind of shy away from the flannel in a quilt is if you're mixing it next to like a cotton fabric and you're piecing it with like different types of fabric, because they wash differently. That's the only reason that I would like shy away from that. But if you do like the entire backing in flannel, you should be fine. Let's see. Ian asked, how big did these jelly roll quilts end up? Do you put borders on them? Loft. Oh my gosh, all you good quilters are coming in here telling me that I'm using the wrong terms. But yes, you will need to add the batting on it. And so this quilt, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I think it was like 50 by 60. Somebody could like go check my video or something because I mentioned it in the video. But I think it's a good throw size quilt that just this one jelly roll that we did with the 40 strips that are 40 inches long. It's a good throw size quilt. It's not going to like cover the bed, but it's definitely going to cover like a grown up human being. And how would I quilt this? However you want. I mean, you could do an all over meander that would make it really nice and easy. Or you could just do like straight line quilting, do like a matchstick type quilting, or even not even like matchstick length if you want to do it a little bit further apart, just to kind of highlight the straight lines of it. I tend to shy away from stitch in the ditch just because you can kind of tell like if it kind of jogs off the path a little bit, you can tell. But I will often, I'm trying to see if I have an example like close by that I can grab. I will often like sew, say, a 1/4 inch out from my seam. So like in this right here, I would tend to like frame this line right here by sewing a 1/4 inch on either side. So it allows for a little bit more play in terms of if I don't get it like straight on, but then it doesn't show as bad my errors. So let me ask y'all real quick. Who read my email newsletter today? Tell me in the chat if you read my email newsletter today and you know what I'm fixing to answer. I kind of hinted at it. Well, somebody beat me to it earlier, but who happened to read that today? Ooh, on the diagonal, Melanie, that would be perfect. Yeah, I mean, whatever you're comfortable with in terms of quilting. So, yay, somebody read my email. That's awesome. Okay, so you know what's coming up. I have gotten so many emails asking me, Kristen, when are you going to do this? And it turns out that my class, yes, my class, y'all already know I thought I was going to like beat some of you to it. But I've gotten so many emails asking like, when is this class opening up? Because I haven't done it this year. I normally do it like early in the spring and then in the fall as well. And spring just got really busy for me. And I didn't feel like I could give enough time to holding the class. So here we go. My signature course, my Modern Quilting Made Easy course, is definitely opening up again. And registration actually starts on Monday. But for you sweet girls that all showed up to class tonight, I would like to invite you to the class a little bit early. Not only that, but I have a coupon code for you tonight that I'm going to give you, and you have until the end of the weekend to use it. So this is a class where I do limited seating, okay? Just because it is a lot of time and effort on my part to make sure that you are comfortable in your skills, make sure that you know what you're doing, make sure that like not only are you comfortable, but your confidence goes up, okay? So you know the basics, right? And you know how to quilt, and from this class, I've seen so many people just like take off and make the most amazing quilts. And I think there's at least a couple of my former students in here who have taken this class. And, let's see. Basically, the class is 8 weeks where we sew together. I have video classes that you watch on your own time, and you really, really learn the basics, okay? And it's not taught in a boring way because, as you can probably tell, I don't like boring. Quilting is fun. I didn't get into quilting so I would have something else where I have to have like specific rules to follow and, know exactly what I'm supposed to do. I want to know the basics and then I want to do my own thing on it. So if that is how you like to quilt, then I invite you to join me because quilting is fun. It's a lot of creative and you can do so much with it when you are confident in the foundations. A lot of quilters I find are like, I want to make this type of quilt, but I don't think I can do it. And I think that's a lie that you tell yourself when you're not confident in it. And I think you can absolutely do it. And after you learn the foundations, you can choose to do your own thing, do whatever you want. Not because you don't know what you're doing, but because you feel confident enough to, I don't know, start sewing triangle pieces together. You can do whatever you want after you learn the basics. So I've had over 300 people graduate from this class. And I have like a page that I'm going to send you in just a few minutes. That way you can kind of view and see if it's right for you, see if it's a right fit. There is a limited number of seats. And I want it to be a right fit for you. But, it opens up to the public on Monday. Sorry, I'm going over my notes real quick. I say everything that is in this class because I've done something different with it this year. I told you that I didn't open the class because I didn't feel like I could handle all of the making sure that everybody was on the right pace and right spot. I really want to devote my time to you. But this time I did something different. So I have several classes that are in my school, right? Where I teach you confidence in fabric. I teach you confidence in quilting, in making the quilt, every single step from like the piecing to learning how to decode a pattern. And we make a quilt together in this class, and I'm going to be sewing it again with you. So this is a really big deal. I have bundled all of these classes together. Okay. So this time you're not just getting the basic quilting course, which is a really, really, really good course. You're getting everything. You're getting the fabric course with it. You're getting my scrap fabric course. I have videos that, excuse me, I'm trying not to cough here. I have videos that go into calculating the value of your quilt. All these different steps that give you the tools to really know your craft and allow you to be confident so that you can have fun with it and not sit there and question if you're doing it right or get really frustrated and spend hours with the seam ripper. I mean, some of you girls said you use your seam ripper once, and I love, love, love that. So let me put the link in the chat here, and then that way you can see what's in the course, see if it's right for you, and make sure you sign up before I open the class on Monday. There is a coupon code, and I'm going to stick that in the chat here too. I'll also send you an email tonight. That way, if y'all are still sewing right now, you don't have to worry about copying this down. Let's see. B said, watch the videos again. It's a great refresher on the basics. Will you have access to the new material? I'm going to have to figure that out, but let me see, okay? Antonia says, when I finish, do I press the seams open or to the side? I press them to the side, but I'm kind of lazy. So it really depends on your fabric, and that's the way that I judge it on my own quilts. You have really thin or really light colored fabric on your quilt, on your jelly rolls right now, I might press it open. Like if you're afraid like a dark seam is going to show through. But if you're not really worried about the fabric showing through, then press it to the side and be easy. Let it be really easy for you. So let me put that that link in the chat right now. So it's icystarsquilting.com/modern quilting made easy. Let me see if I make sure I got it right. Modern quilting made easy. And if you sign up before the weekend, here is the coupon code that I want you to use as a thank you for coming tonight, because can't type and talk at the same time. So this coupon code right here is going to get you $30 off the course bundle. Okay. So that is going to get you all the foundational stuff that you're going to need to walk away from here. Not that I want you to leave me, because I love seeing the beautiful things that you create, but from the foundation, you'll be able to have the confidence and the joy in your heart. Okay. A lot of quilting classes, like the formal classes and stuff, I've been to those. And there's a lot of pressure to them, right? There's a lot of pressure to get it right. And, you don't want that super intense pressure coming up, because I don't know, that's when I start to fail, is when I start to judge myself too harshly. And you really want to enjoy your quilting. And everything is on that page that I sent you, all the details for what you get. I'm also doing like live coaching sessions every single week. That way you have access to me. I'm sewing the pattern along with you. And you'll have all the information on that page. I'm going to send you an email tonight with that same link. That way you can look over everything, because I know that y'all are like quilting right now and you're having a good time. And I don't want to interrupt your progress, but I do want to tell you that I'm finally opening up that class again. I'm super excited because I love, love, love talking to other quilters. I love understanding what it is that is hard for them so that I can fix it, because I want you to enjoy quilting. Quilting is something that has like completely changed my life and made it because for those of you that don't know, I have a very strong artist background. And once I had kids, that all went out the window. Not that I mean, I wouldn't trade my children for the world, but like I can't paint anymore. I can't like, do anything messy or very creative now that I have my the door and nobody touches it. But oh, Cindy, you're fine. You didn't spoil anything. You didn't spoil anything. It's fine. I was gonna tell everybody about it anyway, so it's fine. But you know, it changed everything because it gave me an outlet that I can create something that nobody else in the world has ever seen, and I something very specific to the people that I'm gifting something to, something that lets them know how much I love them. And to me, that means a lot. And I want other people to be able to do that. But I've seen so many people that are not confident in their skills, and they kind of like they either hold it up like it's like a kindergarten painting that they kind of sort of feel terrible about. But that's not what you should do once you finish a quilt, especially with how much we spend on fabric and time and all of that. You need to be confident in it. So, with all of that, you have a special, let's see, you get in early, okay? Because you sweet girls showed up tonight, and at least I'm sorry, I think it's all girls. I'm not sure if we had any amazing men quilters that showed up in this, but you haven't made yourself known. So, but y'all showed up tonight. You've sewn with me. I see somebody. Oh, Linda completed her quilt top. That's awesome. Libby said I made 2 mini quilts tonight. You sewed 20 strips together and then made quilts big enough to lap quilts for cancer patients. That is fantastic. Yes, nice warm ones. You can also use like a wool batting if they're for cancer patients and you want them to be extra warm. You can use a wool batting on the middle, and that'll keep them give them a little bit something extra. Mia says she's done too. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay. So you've witnessed the magic of the jelly roll quilts. Nancy's done. Fantastic. I'm a little bit jealous because I talked and I didn't finish my quilt, but I'm going to finish mine tomorrow. You witnessed the sewing magic of jelly roll quilts. I love it. So from here, tell me, did you love it? Did you love the process of sewing this jelly roll quilt? And is this your first quilt? Because I have to know if this is the first quilt top that you've sewn together and you took like this big leap of faith and was like, this girl's gonna do a class. I'm gonna take it. I need to know. So yay. Oh my goodness. I love it. All of you are loving these quilt tops. There's something about the jelly roll magic, okay? Because like you start on this and y'all are all like, I have twisted parts and this is the longest seam that I've ever sewn in my life. I had to change my bobbin in the middle. Oh my goodness, it is somebody's first quilt. That is me cheering you on because I'm so excited for you. And it's beautiful, right? Like when you hold it up, the mix of the colors, it just It all comes together so pretty every single time. And it's magic every single time because no matter if I did this exact same one again with the same jelly roll, it's not going to turn out like this. Okay. It's not going to turn out. Amy says this is your first quilt. So you and your daughter sewed a quilt together. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is amazing. I am so glad that y'all joined me tonight. This is first jelly roll quilt, absolute magic, easy to do. First jelly roll quilt, but not my first quilt. Your third quilt. So you're still really early on in this quilting. I love it. I love jelly rolls, not my first quilt. This is perfect. Yeah, this makes me so happy. And honestly, I really am jealous. But not your first quilt, and you haven't sewn it yet, but you will when your jelly roll comes in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't get the mailman to deliver your stuff. But now you know exactly what to do, and you know that all of these girls did it. And your first jelly roll quilt, but not your first quilt, Heidi. I love it. So I don't know. There's something when it's like this really big, looks like nothing, and then like I don't know, 4 seams in, you're like, holy cow, this is legit. Like we just made a quilt top. And now you can do you know, add a backing to it. This is a pretty good size to add a backing and do something do something creative, do something fun, you know. This comes together really fast. So these are really good gifts. They're really good like I love you so much and I care about you, but I'm not going to spend 3 months on a quilt right now because I don't have the time to give, but I will make you a quilt. They don't have to know that it took, you know, an hour. What are we? Okay, we're like just slightly over an hour from the point where I um tried to stop talking and I didn't really do it very well, but just slightly over an hour from when we really first started. And I'm missing some of your comments here. I'm so glad that you're doing this. I see. You made some for Christmas, but it took longer to make. I'm working on blocks for another site, but first jelly roll. Somebody starting rag quilts. Those are fun too. And yes, Wendy, please send me pictures of your final quilt because I would love to see the ones from the class. Now, I didn't mention that before. In the class, there's an exclusive quilt pattern. So I don't give this quilt pattern out. I don't send it to anybody else. I don't sell it. The only way that you can get this quilt pattern is through my Modern Quilting Made Easy class. And it's a really fun pattern because I help you break it down. It looks really complicated and crazy. And I mean, it makes you look good as a quilter. Okay. That's my whole goal is I want to make you look really, really good and really, really fancy. But the secret is between you and me. It's not that hard. And once you break it down and you understand it and you kind of like pull apart the puzzle pieces in your head, you realize it's not that hard. So let me see if I can catch up on these. Not your first jelly roll quilt. A lot of people are like have been doing quilting for years. But yes, it's really nice to learn how to do things differently. And we're gonna play one more game, okay? So are y'all in it for like one more game? Because this one has a prize to it, and then we're gonna wrap up tonight. And you know, I would love to see pictures, you know, of your stuff once it's all done. If you can tag me on Instagram or send it to me an email or something, I would love to see pictures of your stuff. But let's play one more game. So oh, Cherie, you made your first Jelly Roll quilt 2 weeks ago. This is amazing. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Kathy. That is so sweet. Your 11th quilt since last year. You were like more productive than me last year. I did some smaller quilts, but I didn't do like big quilts last year. So, okay. Let's do. Oh, congratulations. Sandra's daughter picked out fabric. She's making one because she graduates with her bachelor's degree and then off to veterinary school. Good for her. That's awesome. Good for her. Okay. March is Jelly Roll month. I kind of made that up. Is that really a thing? I kind of made that up. Okay, we have one more game. I want you to get out a something to write with. I'm going to give you just a minute, something to write with and a paper because you're going to need to keep a tally here as I read off these things. I want to see who's the winner here because there is a prize. There is a prize for this one. So kind of give me like a thumbs up or I'm ready whenever you get to, whenever you're ready to start the game. It's a thing now. Yes, March is Jelly Roll month. And I actually have one more tutorial because now we're getting into May. But I have one more tutorial that I want to film, and the Jelly Roll themed project. And I want to get y'all's opinion on if you are interested in learning how to do it or if thing that I save for like later on. Okay, ready. Okay, so the point of this game is from wherever you are seated right now, within reach from your chair. Okay, so this is not like I have this in the other room. This is not if I get up and stand up, I can reach it. This is wherever you're sitting right now. Can you reach this item? And I'm going to read off a list of items. For every one that you can reach, I want you to put a tally. Okay, so again, this is not if I were to like get out of my chair and crawl under here and get something out of this drawer over here. No, this is like, can I reach it from my desk? Now, if you have a spinny chair, you can run around, okay? If you have a very small room, but you have to take your tush off the chair, that does not count. Your tush has to stay in the chair, okay? No getting up. So here we go. So scissors is the first one. Again, if you can reach it, you don't have to grab it, but if you can reach it from where you're sitting right now, like I can reach my scissors, even though they're over there. My tush didn't leave the chair. So if you can reach it, grab it. So, oh, Lori, you're just gonna, surely you have something around you. All right. If you can reach scissors, give yourself 1 point. If you can reach a finished quilt, not a quilt top, because I know we just finished one, but a finished quilt, like batting, quilting, binding, all that, give yourself a point. If, how many pairs? You get 1 point if you can reach a scissor, not like 500 points if you can reach 500 scissors, Nancy. Okay, if you can reach 3 or more full extra bobbins, okay, doesn't matter what color they are, but if you can reach 3 or more extra bobbins, give yourself 1 point. If you can reach a book to read, give yourself a point. We're only doing 1 point. Only 1 point per item, okay? If you can reach 2 quilts, that's 1 point, but they have to be finished quilts. Okay. If you can reach a magazine, give yourself a point. If you can reach a package of unused machine needles, it doesn't have to be a complete package, but if you have some that are unused in that package, give yourself a point. A Kindle can count. Sure, I'll count a Kindle. This is my game, so I'll make the rules. Yes. Uh-oh, Alice. I'm going to go over real quick at the end. I'll do the whole thing one more time to make sure that you have everything, okay? A fat quarter of fabric. If you can reach that, a mug rug does not count as a full quilt. No. So if you can reach a fat quarter of fabric, if you can reach a beverage of some sort, if you can reach a coaster or that you made or was gifted to you, I will accept a mug rug for that one. If you can reach some type of sewing themed decor, like a decoration that has a sewing machine on it or something like that. Heidi, you're making me laugh here. Okay, if you can reach a wall quilt, like a wall hanging quilt, a fabric pin, a clip, which, oh, I don't have any next to me right now, but like those little clips that I always use to do my binding and stuff, one of those sewing clips. I don't have that by me right now. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Hold up. One of these guys, okay? If you can reach one of these, this is what I mean by clip. If you brought snacks with you tonight, give yourself a point. And you can reach them too. If you have sewing pins next to you, if you have, and some of my quilters here will know one of these, which is a thread catcher that you made. It's one of my patterns. So if you have one of these that you can reach, give yourself a point. A metal sewing clip. Yes, I will accept a metal sewing clip. Yes. If you have a chopstick, like a wooden chopstick. If you don't know, those are really, really handy in the sewing room. If you have a ruler, if you have a spool of thread, everybody should have that close by if you've been sewing. If you have a desk light, if you have your sewing machine manual, again, where you can reach it, not where you have to get up and go get it. If you have an unsewn zipper, so like just the zipper strip, it does not have like a project or a partner right now. If you have extra sewing machine feet, a seam ripper, an iron. If you have a pattern laid out that you're trying to think over right now, whether or not you want to do it. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, it's okay. No worries. This will be played over where you can watch it again. If you have your phone close by to you, and if you have a crochet hook for all of us that dabble in multiple sewing arts. And last one is if you have house slippers where you can get to them and reach them. So I'm going to go over one more time. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. There's one more. If you have another work in progress. Now this one, if you have more than 3, again, where you can reach them from where you're sitting right now, you get plus 3 points on that one. So you get 1 for every single work in progress that from where you're sitting right now. So I'm going to go over one more time real quick, just so you can make sure you caught everything. So I have scissors, a finished quilt. That's everything done to it, binding and all. 3 or more extra bobbins. You get 1 point for each of these. A book to read, a magazine, a package of unused machine needles, a fat quarter of fabric, a beverage, a coaster that you made or gifted to you. I will accept a mug rug for that one. A sewing decor theme, a wall quilt, a fabric pin, a clip. I'll accept a metal clip for that as well, or the plastic ones. A snack, pins, a one of these, which I call like a thread catcher or like just a catch-all bag that is one of my patterns. A chopstick, a ruler, a spool of thread, a desk light, a sewing machine manual, an unsewn zipper, sewing machine feet, a seam ripper. Y'all are posting your stuff. Hold on. Okay. An iron, a pattern, your phone, a crochet hook, house slippers, and another work in progress. If you have more than 3 works in progress, that counts as 3. So a plastic chopstick will count. Yes. 3 bobbins is 1 point. Correct. So, hold on. I saw somebody up here. Somebody has 34. Let me ask that. Can anybody beat 34? A plastic chopstick does count. Yes. Let's see. Does anybody beat 34? Oh, 32. You're close. But it looks like 34 might win. Who had 34? Let me see if I can go back up and see. Uh-oh. Chat's being really funky right here. No, it's not going to let me go back up. Who had 34? I saw it. I saw 34. Who had it? B. Garrison had it. All right. My friend, you are the winner of the game. And you are pretty... Oh, wait. Did Mia have 34 too? Did you both have 34? We have a tie? No way. Okay. Well, I guess I guess we have a tie. That's fine. That's fine. We'll give 2 prizes out. That's fine. So, all right. Yay. So you both win a prize. So, do me a favor and email me. Let me know that you won the last quilt game that we did, and I will get your information and I will send you something very fun to let you. I'm not going to spoil it. So, congratulations to both of you and to my other contest winners today too. Make sure you email me. It's Kristen@icstarsquilting.com, or you can contact me on the website. Just get your name to me so that I can send you your prizes, please. And so, that's really it for tonight. I have a few more things that I was going to talk to you about. First of all, did y'all really like the jelly roll series that I did on YouTube and sharing lots of different projects that you can do with the pre-cuts? Because I'm kind of thinking of doing one for like the 5-inch pre-cuts as well. And let me show you real quick. This is the next project that I was going to do on YouTube for, it's not just jelly rolls because it uses rope too, but it's a basket. And these pieces in the middle are actually jelly roll strips. So, house slippers on your feet, girl. What do you think I'm wearing for shoes right now? How do you think I got that idea? Because I'm wearing my house shoes too. So, this is the other project that I was going to do. I know I said I was going to do Jelly Roll month, and then I kind of stretched it out into like Jelly Roll however long I feel. So, I think I may do a tutorial on this if y'all like it and it's something that you want to see how to do. It's actually really, really easy. It's not as difficult as you would think. I had a really fun time with this one. So looks like the consensus is we like the jelly roll party. It's been fun. The basket looks great. Awesome. Visual learner. Me too, girl. Me too. All right. Vicky, email me again. I must have missed your email. I'm so sorry. But email me again and I'll get back with you this evening or in the morning whenever you email me, I'll get back with you. I'll be watching for that. So okay. Well, I'm hoping that it'll be next week that you can see the tutorial for that, but it might be the following week. I'll have to see kind of how the week shakes out. But so everybody loved their quilts tonight. Should we do more sew-alongs like this? What do you think? If you have any other project ideas or something, I would love to hear them. Stuff that you maybe didn't get a chance to ask in Q&A, or perhaps if I missed them, let me know on that because I want to make sure that tonight is about that. And I know, and we're getting way past the 2-hour mark. But I want to make sure that I do answer your questions if you have any other questions, and then we'll wrap up for tonight because it's all kinds of funny, wonky times. So more sew-alongs, definitely more sew-alongs. I love this too. This was really fun. And look for your email tonight if you're interested in taking the Modern Quilting Made Easy class, because that class always does fill up. And I want to make sure that I have time for everybody. There's a lot of stuff that is included in the class this time that is not included in the classes that I have run previously with those. But let's see, all of y'all, you had all but the crochet slippers and slippers within reach. I love more sew-alongs. I love that. More sew-alongs, more sew-alongs, more sew-alongs. Like to try making the bowl. That's awesome. Okay. Well, I'm going to give it a few more seconds to see. Yep, there's a question. How many strips should be across the quilt? So it's 32 strips from top to bottom. Okay. So as far as across the quilt, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on how long you make them. If you make them like the full 40 inches, or you cut them like I did into the 20 inches, or you just had fun and just like like Edward Scissorhand them and like kind of chopped them up at however you want. It's really up to you. But so as far as like top to bottom, it should be 32 different rows. Not an important question, but did you get a new sewing machine? I did. I did. I did, and it's beautiful. And eventually, when things kind of settle down here for a little bit, and I'm not doing jelly roll videos, I will be sharing some more about this beautiful machine because I wanted to make sure I kind of knew what I was doing before I did. But thank you for noticing my new baby. It's beautiful and it's so much fun. Oh, you love my hair. Thank you. Thank you very much. um, thank you, Vicki. I appreciate that. And yes, this was really, really, really good. A jelly roll rug. Oh, have you made a jelly roll rug before? That's kind of a tough one, but yeah, maybe I could do a video on that too. I don't currently have a spot in my house for a jelly roll rug, but I will put that on the list for maybe projects to do in the future. So guys, I absolutely love this. This was so much fun, and I cannot wait until our next one. I'm gonna have to like look at the calendar and see when I can schedule it and make sure that it is a time that is kind of open to everybody. But yeah, heads up, there will be some type of virtual retreat, because last summer I did a virtual retreat and I want to do another virtual retreat, but I'm thinking it's probably going to get pushed to like the end of summer because of the Modern Quilting Made Easy class. So I got to kind of space out that. But yeah. So you asked what kind of machine I got. I actually got the Horizon 15,000. It's another Janome, and it is it's fancy. It's probably fancier than I am. But it's beautiful. So let's see, your jelly roll rug looks more like a bowl. That's why a jelly roll rug is really kind of hard. I do have a post on my website where I shared the 5 mistakes that I made while making a jelly roll rug. So if you want a quilter who's going to go out there and be fearless and try things and then tell you all the things that she did wrong so that you don't do them wrong, I'm your girl, okay? Because I tend to be fearless when I try new things, and then I run into things that I don't really know what I'm doing, and I make mistakes. But then I share them with you, so I think that definitely helps. But yeah, look up that on my website. If you look in the search bar and go to Jelly Roll Rug, you'll be able to see that that post. So it's 5 mistakes that I made while making a jelly roll rug, and you'll see my jelly roll rug is not perfect. So that's why I haven't done a video. I don't feel like I'm like the right person to teach you how to make it really, really beautiful. But it's in my bathroom and it looks beautiful. So depends on what your level of perfection is. But it keeps curling badly. Here is one, and I think somebody emailed me about that this afternoon. Their jelly roll rug being curly, and it might have been one of you ladies. So I may respond to you in the morning when I check my email again. But here's something: if your rug is all like wonky and you're thinking that there's no way that you can fix it, you can fix it, and I'm going to tell you how to do this. But it's not the how can I say this? A professional, like amazing quilter would not tell you how to do this. But if you want your jelly roll rug to lay flat, I would suggest getting a really thick felt, okay, and gluing it on one side of your jelly roll quilt. Whatever you want the bottom side of your quilt to be, glue that felt. You can use like a spray adhesive, but like a thick felt, right? Use like a spray adhesive and glue your jelly roll rug to that felt. So you're going to cut like a big piece of felt, right? And you're going to glue your jelly roll rug on, and you're going to make sure that you press it down to where you're going to lose like the wonkiness of it. And that's going to help your jelly roll rug lay flat. Now, is that like the amazing quilter way to tell you how to do that? Probably not. But is it going to make your jelly roll quilt lay flat and you're going to be happy with it and you're going to not have to either waste it or trip on it or something? That's what you want to do. So that's my 2 cents on it. It might not be what everybody tells you to do, but that's what I tell you to do. If you're looking for like a quick solution and otherwise you can't use your quilt. So I hope that that was helpful. I'm going to end this for tonight. And if you have any questions or anything that is still kind of on your mind or whatever, email me and I'm happy to get back to you. I love to hear from you, and I will definitely put another one of these on the calendar for sometime in the future. So, Alice, it says that you're new at this. You're a very visual person, and yes, I'm very easy to get along with. I mean, we all start somewhere, and like I said, this should be something that is really, really, really fun for you and really fun for me, and something that we can do together. So I look forward to talking to y'all again soon. I want you to have a good night or a good day, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you so much for taking this time with me and joining me. I really had a wonderful time, and I appreciate you so much. So enjoy your beautiful jelly roll quilts. Tag me in them or send me a email with a picture of them. I would love to see them. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Maybe next time I won't be so squeaky too. That would be good. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.